Welcome back to Peniros, mind people. Now, this is a sticky situation, but we got to talk about it. Let's check this video out, people.
We begin with a developing story tonight after video of an arrest in Harlem went viral.
It's had almost 30,000 views, and now residents are calling for an investigation into the NYPD. CBS 2's Dave Carlin live in Lower Manhattan with all the details. Dave.
An officer whose actions are being investigated and a woman awaiting arraignment behind me, stemming from an incident with a video that people are talking about. This is the video posted to social media.
Ooh. She went down hard, people. She went down hard. Wow. That was serious.
Talking about. This is the video posted to social media that shows a chaotic arrest.
See, what people got to understand is that, you see, most people when they're fighting on the street or situations happen, sometimes it might not be the strike that is detrimental. It's just sometimes it's more time the way they land on the floor. As you can see, you know, because your head is very heavy. So your head's going to drop before your body. Some people have died like that, you know.
That you see get even more chaotic after this woman enters the frame. Identified as 19-year-old
He's a big guy. He's a big guy.
Tamani Crum. She confronts an officer as he arrested a man Crum reportedly knows. The woman engages the officer, appearing to slap him, and he responds with what looks like a wallop of a punch.
Okay, now, I'm glad they showed that again, because I have to point out that he actually, I thought it was a thing of where she might have hit him from behind and he didn't know who it was, but as you can see from this video right here, you know, as you can see right here, he's facing her, you know, so a man should know what type of strength they need to use at certain periods of time. So that's what, you know, that's a bit peak.
Arrested a man Crum reportedly knows. The woman engages the officer, appearing to slap him, and he responds with what looks like a wallop of a punch, causing her to fall backwards onto pavement. You see her get picked up off the ground and taken into custody. Here is Crum's grandmother.
Before the grandmother comes in, I have to say this. Us seeing the video, we're going to say, yeah, the officer's in the wrong. Because there's not really much that female could have done to the officer, that big crafty officer, to really hurt him. And like I said earlier, you know, he was actually facing it. It wasn't like he was hit from behind and just used his instinct and went for it. You can see that the girl was a slim girl. You know, you might be thinking, oh, does it matter what size they are? Yes, it does. It does. Especially if it went to court and things like that. Vice versa, a man hitting someone. I've heard situations where people have gone to court and because of the size of the person, it went left for them. So one thing I do have to say though, people, is that, you know, there are rules in this game. You understand what I'm saying? And police do not like getting hit. Now, I'm not saying that he was right for doing what he done. No, not at all. It's horrible. My daughter's not far from that age. I wouldn't like anybody to touch her like that. But what did this lady think? What did this young lady think that would benefit the situation that was already in? Because there's men there too. Now, apparently someone had a gun. She knows the person. What did you really think was gonna happen? Like, surprisingly, really and truly, there should have been guns drawn. When they find out that, when they hear news of someone having a gun, it's usually guns drawn situations. Now, there are rules out here at the end of the day. And if you go against those rules, there's going to be circumstances. You understand what I'm saying? And now, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not justifying anything. But if you hit a police officer, what do you really expect to happen? You're going to get arrested. Like, you can't come over there on your ones, with your one slim self. You know what I'm saying? Young, and think that you was gonna do anything in that situation. Sometimes you have to just big up though. If it's the thing of where it was your boyfriend and you thought that you had to stand up, because there's not a lot of people that stand up for certain things. And you might have that type of heart. You know what I mean? You might have that type of heart, young sister. You know, and I'll big you up for it. You know what I mean? You didn't want nothing to happen to your guy. You run over there and all right, there's some people that wouldn't even, but you have to know when to do these things. It's not like there was one officer, you know, you have to know when to do these things. You see the size of him. You know? But he was definitely out of order with the power that he used. But let's continue this video. I think the grandma wanted to speak.
He cold knocked her out. He's no better than the people who's knocking people out in the street.
Crumb's mother.
Sorry, Granny, but, you know, he was touched at the end of the day. Regardless of what force he used, regardless if he slapped her back or whatever, he was still touched at the end of the day. And this is what, big up to Granny, but Granny have to understand is that these people out here need to understand this. Like, this is the problem out here. You know, people think they can just do what they want. So it should not be encouraging it, even though I understand that you're sad about the situation. I think this is the mum right here.
Who asked we not use her name and who did not make any public comments, sobbed as she stood next to the family's lawyer, Jamie Santana.
Now, people, I did see this video the other day, yesterday, and I saw some comments. I don't think this is fake crocodile tears right here. I don't think so. When your child gets touched like that, you understand? I think anyone would cry before they go and put work in. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just to know that your daughter got touched in that type of manner. And on top of that, it's on camera as well. And we know how this internet thing is. You know, it's an evil place, man. People might even start making memes, like real talk. But let's continue.
I'm here with the mother of Miss Crumb. Right. She's obviously very shaken and devastated by the assault that took place yesterday on her daughter. The officer involved in this case was approximately 3 times her body weight and size. This was unnecessary.
Like I said, it was unnecessary because you have to know, everyone knows what type of power. We've got certain levels of power. It should never ever be an ego thing or anything like that, especially when you're dealing with the public and, you know, you got a badge on. Your ego should never really get into it. You know what I mean? You was acting like you was at a club or something. That was like some Julius Francis punch that you threw. You know what I mean? But,
and it's unacceptable. This has to stop.
The incident was on West 136th Street Tuesday around 5 p.m. NYPD sources tell CBS 2 there will be an investigation, but the officer's actions appear justified. The initial arrest was in a case of attempted murder, and police say the suspect, 22-year-old Elvin James, allegedly had a low...
Yeah, that people. So the person that the police were looking for, it was up for attempted murder. Do you understand? So the only thing that I can think here is that this girl here that's hanging out with people that have got attempted murder charges. I know when they get to a certain age, it's kind of hard to tell them who they should be around. They usually have to learn from mistakes. But it's always sad like that, that if they don't hear, they must feel type. But it's horrible sometimes when they have to learn from the mistake and not learn before. When you try to imprint it into their mind so many times for you to come back and say, I told you so. So he was wanted for attempted murder. There's nothing that she could have done. You understand what I'm saying? But it might be a thing of where does she know better. You know, she was upset, you know.
Gun at the time. Crumb is charged with assault on an officer, obstructing government administration, and resisting.
You see, you can't win people. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So after everything, she's being charged with obstructing the officer and assault. So regardless of the way she was hit down on the floor, I don't know what they're going to do like that. If they're going to take it further, the other guy was talking with the mother, maybe they're going to take it further and whatnot. But at the end of the day, at the end of it, you're getting charged with assault.
arrest. We had the video looked at by Keith Taylor, a professor in the Department of Law, Police Science, and Criminal Justice Administration at John Jay College. When he was at NYPD, he supervised internal affairs, missing persons, and more. He calls this incident
awful but lawful. She's actively engaging, which is in this case assaulting the officer. And
you see? You see? You're not going to win, people. It's the same way I told the homies sometimes. When the police then pull you over, just be humble. You can't win. You can't call for the man them to come and spray the place up. But they can call for their man them to come and put you in the back of the van.
he responds in kind. We need to let the investigators do their job and see all the additional information.
Additional video, including officer body cameras, will be part of this investigation. As for Crum, her arraignment is expected sometime tonight. Live in Lower Manhattan, Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
Dave, thank you.
So people, let's talk about this a little bit more. What can we learn from this? Well, the first thing that we can learn from this, people, is that you're not going to win anything like putting your hands on police, especially if you're not in the wrong. Now, imagine if it's a situation where the police are trying to beat the hell out of you and they're on camera. Like, people are filming it, because there's a lot of cameras out there these days. People want the views, right? Whether it's TikTok. It's kind of crazy though, because people want the views regardless if they're getting paid for it or not. What weird, what a strange, weird world we live in. But like I was saying, you're in a situation where you cannot win. You cannot win. That's why they set up the rules and the laws of how they set it up. Now, it might be a situation where the feds are trying to pound you out and people have you on camera and you end up fighting back and pounding him out, but it's on camera. So you can say to yourself, yo, all right, the Fed man punched me straight in my mouth, so I retaliated. But it's on camera, so it's backing. But you're going over to the police officer and throwing punches. And that goes for anybody, female, male. And you're going to do that on camera in front of everybody. And then so when that situation happens, you can't win. You know what I'm trying to say? Now let me just change up this conversation, and I just want to speak on something, right? I know women are feeling powerful right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. Feel powerful. If it makes your day tick, if it makes your day get by better, feel powerful. But please understand that there is a difference between certain strengths with men and women. Now, I'm not talking about my brethren D. She's a boxer. She could probably knock out a few man, like, real talk. Girls that train, that fighting is a completely different situation. But if it was someone that was training fighting in the same weight category as a male, they still wouldn't be stronger. It's just the way it is. I've been out clubbing, and I've been out to nightclubs and raves and whatnot, or events, and I've seen them about to fight, and the girls are running in the middle. Now let me just tell you something, females, you need to slow down with that. I remember there's a situation back in the day, my brethren used to have a scar on his head, right? On the back of his head, he had a scar. This is years ago, like 10, 15 years, and I asked him, like, how did you get that scar on your head? And he basically said to me that he was having a situation with some guy, about to fight some guy. And he's, they're fighting, him and the guy are fighting. His girls come over and try to bottle the guy. And they end up bottling him. And he got the scarf that day from getting bottled by his own girl. Now, I don't understand why you girls be running into action like that. Think about the situation first. If it's your brother and them thing, I can't really tell you anything, man. If it's a family member, I can't really tell you anything, but know the levels though. Females, you have to know the levels. I know you're not feeling powerful right now. So I know some of you even feeling gangster right now. But there is a difference. There is a difference. Now, apologies to the mother for that situation, because I have a daughter too, and I probably feel exactly the same way you do. And I know you want to get certain things done to the Fed man and whatnot. I know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? It's just a natural, as a mother, it's just a natural way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So, big respects to you getting up and, you know, saying what you had to say. But please, as a mother, can you instill into the children, your child as well. I'm sure she's learned her lesson after this, but we need to instill into the children that these officers are not playing no games. And we've already seen that with the George Floyd situation and many more lately. We have to instill that into the children's minds, that these policemen are not playing no games. And it doesn't matter if they're black or white. Do you understand? Because to stay around some people, them that you know are doing certain things, it just shows who you are. But at the same time, we need brothers in the police, in the police departments. We do, so they don't get away with too much, because they're gonna do it anyway. So anyway, people, just a few points that I have to make. You know, please stop with the gangster business, ladies, and know when to pop off if you're going to. I can't tell you not to, but just know when to do it, when the right time is. You see, you're supposed to be on defense. That's how you're supposed to live your life, on defense. And that video there, people, it wasn't defense. And the police wasn't even after her. I can even understand if the police were after her and she wanted to fight her way out because she had a mad case. Do you understand? But we're supposed to be living on defense. Listen, people that matter, if you live your life just on defense, you're more likely to win every battle if it comes up. Not that I'm promoting anything. But being in the right is much better than being in the wrong. Especially if you've got a close connection with the Most High. The tables will turn for them, for the bad. But anyway, people, be safe out there. All blessings to the Most High. Like, share, subscribe, peace.